Hi guys, welcome back to Anjali's Math Desk. In today's video, we will be continuing with the topic of data handling or introduction to statistics. Let's start with chance and probability. Let's say you have a math test and you prepare 9 out of 10 chapters, but it so happens that you get a major question from the 10th unprepared chapter that you left. Or let's say you wore snow boots every day during the winter season and it did not snow for that many days. But let's say you decided not to wear your snow boots one day and it snows. These are the chances we take in life. These are the chances we take in life. These are the examples of chances that do not have equal chances of happening or not happening. But we will definitely be looking into some certain experiments that do have equal chances of occurring. Now let's get into the topic of getting a result. First of all, let's talk about what is a random experiment. Let's say if we were flipping a coin, what are the outcomes of flipping a coin? You can either get heads or you can get tails, right? There's no other outcome. Can you control getting a head or a tail? No, you cannot. Therefore, such experiments are called random experiments. So basically, random experiments are the ones where you cannot control the particular outcome. Now let's talk about equally likely outcomes. When you toss a coin, if you toss a coin more and more number of times, the number of heads and the number of tails come closer and closer to each other. This also happens in cases of rolling a dice. Okay, now let's talk about linking chances to probability. So what are the outcomes when we toss a coin? Again, it's either heads or tails, right? Both outcomes are equally likely. Both outcomes are equally likely, right? Therefore, the probability of getting heads is 1/2, and the probability of getting tails is also 1/2. Similarly, for rolling a dice, what is the probability of getting an outcome of 1? It is 1/6. Why? Because probability of getting a 1, first of all, there's only one 1 in a dice, and then the total number of outcomes is 6. Right? Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Therefore, the probability of getting outcome of 1 is 1/6. Okay, now let's talk about outcomes as events. Each outcome of an event or a collection of outcomes makes an event. Okay, now let's solve a question together. A bag has 4 blue balls and 2 green balls. These are identical balls, only different colors. A ball is drawn from the bag without looking into the bag. What is the probability of getting a blue ball? And then the second part is it more or less than getting a green ball? So let's talk about this. First of all, let's look at the total number of outcomes that are possible. It's 4 plus 2 equals 6. Why? Because there are 4 blue balls and there are 2 green balls, right? Now, the outcomes of getting a blue ball. What are the number of outcomes of getting a blue ball? 4, because there are a total of 4 blue balls in the bag, right? Therefore, the probability of getting a blue ball is 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. Now let's look at the probability of getting a green ball. Again, we will have the number of outcomes of getting a green ball over total number of outcomes, right? Therefore, it is 2 over 6, which is 1 over 3. Therefore, the probability of getting a green ball is 1 over 3, and the probability of getting a blue ball is 2 over 3. Therefore, we can see that the probability of getting a blue ball is higher than the probability of getting a green ball. Okay, now let's solve some questions together. The first question is, list the outcomes you see in the following experiment. The experiment is basically spinning the wheel, and we have been given the figure of the wheel. So let's list the outcomes we see in this spinning the wheel experiment. The outcome, there can be A, B, C, and D. Therefore, the outcomes are A, B, C, and D. Now let's look at the second question, which is, when a dice is thrown, list the outcomes of an event getting a number greater than 5. We know that in a dice there's 6 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. How many are greater than number 5? There's only one, and that one is 6 itself. So what is the outcome of getting an event that is greater than 5? 6 itself, right? And now let's list the outcomes of getting a prime number on the dice. So now we know that 2, 3, and 5 are the prime numbers. Therefore, the outcomes of an event of getting a prime number are 2, 3, and 5, right? Okay, now let's move on to the third question, which is, find the probability of getting a green apple in the figure accompanied. So this is the figure that we have. We see that there's red, red, and red here, and these are green, 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 and green. First of all, we know that the probability of an event happening is number of outcomes of that event over total number of outcomes, right? Now let's talk about the number of outcomes for green apple. How many outcomes are there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, perfect. And what are the total number of outcomes? We see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are a total of 7. Therefore, the probability of getting a green apple is 4 over 7. Now let's look at the last question for this video. It is, if we have a spinning wheel with 3 yellow sectors, 1 red sector, and 1 green sector, what is the probability of getting a yellow sector, and what is the probability of getting a non-green sector? So first of all, let's look at the total number of outcomes in this case. The total number of outcomes is 3 plus 1 plus 1, which is 5. Why? Because 3 yellow sectors, 1 red sector, and 1 green sector. So total number of outcomes is 5. And now for the first one, where we're saying probability of getting a yellow sector, what will be the probability of getting a yellow sector? First of all, number of outcomes of getting a yellow sector, 3, and we know total number of outcomes is 5, and we know that the probability of getting a yellow sector is number of outcomes of getting a yellow sector over the total number of outcomes. Therefore, the probability of a yellow sector is 3 over 5. And now the second part is, what is the probability of getting a non-green sector? So probability of getting a non-green sector. Let's look at number of outcomes of getting a non-green sector is 3 plus 1, which is 4, right? Therefore, the probability of getting a non-green sector will be number of outcomes of getting a non-green sector, which is 4, divided by the total number of outcomes, which is 5. Therefore, the probability of getting a non-green sector is 4 over 5 in this case. So this brings us to the end of our video. If you guys do like my videos, please do not forget to like and share this video. Also, please do leave a comment down below. Please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video ever again. If you guys have any other questions with regards to other math topics, please do not forget to leave them in the comments down below, and I will get back to you on those as well. Bye for now.